Welcome to our demonstration of our wonderful Bosch Compact kitchen machine. This machine is capable of making bread, of mixing anything you want, and with the addition of 10 other attachments, you can use it to do anything you want in the kitchen. We are going to show you how we make 100% whole wheat bread with it. What we're going to do is put in the dough hook by lifting the arm up, which rotates 180 degrees, and we're going to take off the splash ring and put in our dough hook. This is what I want you to know. The dough hook goes in at an angle, and this is what makes this machine do such a wonderful job of kneading. Is because it's on an angle, it is moving in 3 different directions. It is actually folding or kneading the bread. We will put the liquid into the bowl first. I'm using 2½ cups of fairly warm water and quarter cup of oil and a quarter cup of honey, which makes a ½ cup of liquid altogether. And if you put the two in the same cup, they come out pretty much clean. Now, if you're going to use milk or buttermilk or any other kind of liquid in with your recipe, this is when you would put it in, eggs, etc. Now we're going to add in half of the flour that we're going to use with this machine. And I have milled my flour ahead of time. And I have wonderful 100% whole wheat flour from fresh ground wheat. And this makes a wonderful flavor to the bread, great taste, and lots of nutrition in it. I'm going to put in 4 cups of flour at this point, which is approximately half of your flour. Any recipe that you're going to change to work with the compact, you always put in half the flour first at this point. Now I'm going to add in the other dry ingredients. We're going to use 1 generous tablespoon of dough enhancer. Dough enhancer is a product that we use in all our breads that has whey, lecithin, and vitamin C in it. And it helps the bread stay moist and light and helps keep it longer, especially when we freeze the bread for storage. We also will use a tablespoon of our wonderful SAF yeast. Now, SAF yeast comes vacuum sealed, as you can see in this package, and it's as fresh as the day they package it. And we like it for several reasons. It rises very quickly, it doesn't deteriorate fast, and it just doesn't have to be proofed ahead of time. There's just lots of great reasons for using it. We always put in equal amount of salt to yeast, so I'm going to put in a scant tablespoon of salt. That's, of course, what gives the bread its savor. Finally, we're going to put in a tablespoon or 2 of gluten flour. Gluten is extracted from the wheat. It is the protein, and it helps make the bread stretch more. So if you want to make a nice light rye loaf, for example, you can add some gluten flour to it, and it will do a wonderful job of making a nice light loaf of bread, even out of 100% wheat or rye or whatever. Now I'm pushing the button and I'm lowering the dough hook into the bowl, and I'm also going to put on the splash ring. The splash ring isn't so essential when kneading bread, but it certainly is when we are doing any kind of whipping or beating. Now I'm going to start it on speed 1, which slowly moves the unit around. I'm actually going to take the splash ring off for you to see here just a little bit here. Very quiet running machine, very stable. And we let it go on speed 1 for about 30 seconds to a minute just to get the first part of the flour mixed in. We'll give you a look later at how the dough hook is working so you can see what I mean by kneading action. Now after 30 or 40 seconds and you've got a mixture that looks somewhat like a pancake batter, we add the remainder of our flour. This particular machine, the maximum that you can put in it is 8 cups of flour. So we're making the full recipe, and this would make 2 loaves of 2-pound whole wheat bread. Now as we mix the flour in, I'm also going to knock it up to speed 2. Speed 2 on the compact is its kneading speed. So speed 1 is for just mixing in the flour at the beginning. Speed 2 is for kneading. And we let that go while we're adding the remainder of the flour. So this is cup number 7. And you can see what happens is the batter has been changing to a dough. And what it does, it will collect into the middle and become a very stretchy dough. And that's what we want. We want a good knead, a good stretch to develop the gluten or the stretch in your bread. Now we add flour until the dough cleans the sides of the bowl. This is the same thing we do with our larger machine. And so we're just going to sprinkle this 1/8 cup in until we see that the sides of the bowl are clean. Now the dough, when we've got enough flour, and the dough should be a little sticky, but still quite soft. If you put too much flour in, you're going to get brick bread. As the 100% whole wheat bread kneads, it will actually absorb more water, so it dries out. So one of the big mistakes people make is they put too much flour in. And then they get really heavy bread. Now at this point we let the machine knead for 10 minutes. If I was making white bread, I would be letting it knead only 5, but we usually do 10 minutes when we're doing 100% whole wheat bread.